A security camera under the cloak of night captures a really freaky scene in an otherwise peaceful garden. There's this mysterious woman creeping about in the shadows. Now, the strange part is the place seems to be in the middle of nowhere, because you can't see lights from any other houses in the vicinity. I mean, the whole scene, remote cabin nestled in a dense forest, just adds a whole layer of creepiness to the entire situation. And the obvious question, if the homeowners don't know, then who is this woman? Some speculators have thought she might be a ghost, perhaps weighed down by a tragic accident that happened on that property. Forever stuck in despair. Others profess she is doomed to aimlessly wander, forever haunting the garden and the house. It's certainly eerie enough to make anyone's mind jump to spectral conclusions. Her movements are also super creepy. She's too calm. Each step she takes is measured, intentional. I think it's definitely worth noting how comfortable she is there, potentially meaning she's been there before. And of course, maybe, just maybe, it's some lady pulling a prank, trying to give her neighbors a good scare, or the entire thing's a hoax. Who knows? Anyhow, I can assure you this is not something I want to catch on my camera. Let me know your thoughts on this. Underneath the blushing Virginia sun, Emmett Jenkins, a seasoned outdoorsman and renowned local naturalist, stared at his trail camera, his heart thumping in his chest. The camera, positioned strategically to oversee a small creek bed, had captured something truly extraordinary. 2 photos that defied logical explanation. In the first photo, standing against the backdrop of lush wilderness, was a colossal hair-covered creature, carrying a small, seemingly infant version of itself. Oddly, its face bore no resemblance to the terrifying monstrosities projected by Hollywood as Sasquatches. Rather, it was closer to that of an ape, imbued with a profound and enigmatic intelligence. The second photo, taken only a month later, revealed another similar figure, likewise carrying a young one. It was their eyes, however, that stood out to Emmett. They reflected a wisdom and calmness that was profoundly unnerving. As Emmett studied these photos, a shiver ran up his spine. The images confirmed what he'd long believed but was hesitant to admit. Bigfoot was real. Yet these creatures weren't the monsters of lore, they were more akin to the great apes. Creatures of remarkable intelligence and compassion. And they looked like apes. A chilling silence hung heavy in the air as Emmett's mind raced. These photos could revolutionize our understanding of the world. Or yet they could be dismissed as yet another trick, a forest mirage. He decided he must investigate further, for he couldn't dismiss the sense of humanity he saw in the eyes of these creatures. Stepping out of his cabin, he trudged towards the creek bed, his heartbeat matching the rhythm of the rustling leaves beneath his feet. The woodland, once a sanctuary of tranquility, was now shrouded in an eerie sense of mystery. Every rustling leaf, every snapped twig seemed to hide a secret, fueling Emmett's anticipation. Reaching the creek bed, he found footprints, massive compared to a human, their depth suggesting the immense weight of these creatures. He couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched, the heavy silence amplifying his sensation of an unseen presence. Suddenly, a low grumble echoed through the trees. An unfamiliar sound, filled with the primitive resonance that sent shivers down his spine. Instinctively, he moved away from the direction of the sound, eyes scanning the green abyss for any sign of life. As he walked further into the forest, a small figure emerged from the thick foliage. Emmett froze, his breath hitching. The creature was the same one from the photo, an infant with its large, innocent eyes gazing at him. He felt a mix of awe and fear, his heart pounding like a wild drum inside his chest. An earth-shattering roar sounded behind him. Whirling around, he was met with the sight of the larger creature, its protective gaze locked onto Emmett, a mother defending her offspring. His camera had captured not monsters, but a family. Creatures of the forest living their lives away from prying human eyes. Emmett backed away slowly, eyes never leaving the creature. Once at a safe distance, he turned and took off. Once back to his cabin, the photo seemed even more extraordinary. He really realized the implications of his discovery and the potential danger it posed to the Bigfoot family. The next day, he returned to the creek, this time to remove his trail camera. As he left, he cast one last glance at the forest that held his secret. He would keep the photos safe, revealing them to no one to ensure the safety of the creatures. After all, some mysteries, he mused, are meant to remain as they are, respected, revered, but never fully revealed. Ten years ago, in 2013, a fervent nature enthusiast by the name of Roger Williams made an astounding find. Roger was trekking through the mountainous region of southwest Virginia in broad daylight. He was able to snap a photo of a strange creature, presumed to be the legendary Sasquatch. This towering being, estimated to be over 8 feet tall, was covered in a mass of tangled brown fur. While the photograph only revealed the creature's back, it unmistakably depicted a humanoid shape, characterized by stretched out arms, wide shoulders, and a head that also appeared to be covered in fur. Once again lending itself to the burning question, hanging in the air, is this definitive proof of Bigfoot? Or as many have speculated, a misidentified roving bear? What do you guys think of this video clip? I mean, I don't think that's a bear. I just don't know. This made the local news and stirred up the small town quite a bit. I just don't know. I'll try to dig around a little bit and see if Roger ever did a follow-up. In another unbelievable happening from around the world, a dramatic rescue mission titled Operation Esperanza, 4 children, all siblings, were found alive after surviving for 40 days alone in the Colombian jungle. The ordeal began on May 1st when a plane carrying 7 people, including the children and their mother, cited engine failure and disappeared from radar. The wreckage was later found with 3 adult bodies, but the children, aged between 13 and 11 months, were missing. A massive search and rescue operation was launched, which included Colombian military and indigenous community leaders. They searched tirelessly by day and night, on the ground and from the air, through the dense, dangerous rainforest that's full of underbrush, bugs, and predators. Their efforts were even more determined when small signs of life were discovered, including a diaper, a bottle, and footprints. Tragically, Wilson, a search dog who was part of the rescue crew, went missing during the operation and remains lost. The rescue team utilized a recording of the children's grandmother broadcasted from a helicopter to comfort and instruct the children. On June 9th, after 40 grueling days, the siblings were found. Scared, quiet, and shivering, they were airlifted from the jungle. A moment of joy met with relief, hugs, and tears of disbelief from their family back home. The children's grandmother, mourning the loss of her daughter, expressed her longing to hug her 4 grandchildren. Upon their arrival on the tarmac, they were greeted by their father and the brave team who led the rescue operation. The operation's leaders lauded the children as the bravest ones, emblematic of the enduring power of survival and hope. Just an insane testament to the incredible resilience of these children and the dedication of the searchers and rescuers that would ultimately bring them to safety. What an incredible story. When I first heard this, I thought the father was with the children. And not that it would have been easy by any means, but I was blown away to hear that it was just the 4 children. The eldest was 13 years old. Man, it really is a testament to the ability of the mind and body to take over and keep you alive. And these kids really dig deep. I can't imagine the 13-year-old trying to take care of those young children. Anyhow, this is just an amazing story, and I'm sure most of you guys have seen it, but I just wanted to share it, a nice feel-good story. While piloting their drone through a winter forest, a man claims to have accidentally captured exceptional footage of the elusive Bigfoot. As you can see in the drone video, Bigfoot is unsettlingly presented in a relaxed stride. He looks pretty comfortable in his element. Funny enough, this actually sparked speculation regarding its true demeanor. It had people wondering if Bigfoot was just a misunderstood creature. Nevertheless, despite his seemingly easygoing presence in the footage, caution should still be exercised for sure. I love that we have technology that's able to document and possibly decipher such creatures. I know many are apprehensive about their existence, but even you guys have to admit this is amazing footage. The one thing that this video does make me wonder is how the Bigfoot doesn't notice the drone is overhead. I wonder if the blades of this drone are just super quiet, or maybe the drone was far away and the footage is zoomed in on. Nevertheless, this shows all the genuine characteristics of a Bigfoot, even though they still continue to be shrouded in mystery. Let me know what you guys think of this. A few years back, a team of laborers found themselves faced with a perplexing assignment. A stubborn obstruction in a drainage pipe nestled at the factory's rear had been wreaking havoc, causing countless complications. It was this troublesome situation that prompted them to head to the site, smartphone cameras in hand, ready to document the source of their woes. With each step they took towards the dreaded pipe, the tension built up like a suspenseful symphony reaching its climax. Their intention was simple: record the problematic blockage to understand the issue better. However, the reality that unfolded before them was far from what they'd anticipated. As they honed their focus onto the pipe, something startling happened. An ethereal white figure, as ghostly as moonlight, unexpectedly emerged from within the pipe. It was a sight that sent a jolt of shock through each worker. They were all frozen in their tracks. The image of this strange creature, peeking out, hiding, returning, peering out from the depths, left them freaked out. They didn't know what to make of it. They were glad they caught it on camera, and that stubborn obstruction that they were there to film, it quickly felt like less of a problem. Anyhow, what do you guys say? What do you think of this? In our first clip, a Mississippi man was left perplexed after spotting what appears to be a massive black cat walking through a field. And even experts can't agree on what he saw. The strange encounter occurred as David Sluder was pulling into a Wendy's in the city of Hernando. David noticed something slinking off in the distance. After initially thinking that he was watching a deer or a coyote because of its size, he then realized that the creature was actually some type of cat. David, who was over 100 yards away from the animal, took out his phone and started filming. As he looked more intently, and from his tail, he could definitely tell it was a cat. I mean, look at that tail. That thing is massive. He swears it wasn't an overgrown house cat like some people have said. And authorities agree with him. An expert with the Mississippi Department of Wildlife quickly dismissed the mystery feline as a house cat, claiming the pointed shape of the creature's ears confirmed that conclusion. However, the city and county animal control weren't excited about the Department of Wildlife claiming that the creature is the much more dangerous mountain lion. Nevertheless, everyone is currently on the lookout for the big cat. This next Trailcam capture comes from Brian Sammons. At first glance, he thought he had a deer die right in front of his camera. However, the photo actually shows deer visiting and sleeping in the same spot nearly every night. Sammons says the deer, a young buck, calmly walks up to the spot every few nights and just lies down. It's unusual behavior as deer are known to be skittish, and they avoid sleeping in the same place for multiple consecutive nights. He agrees how interesting it is to see this. He agrees it's really cool to see this, and thinks it may have something to do with this particular location being safe, or the deer just feeling really comfortable. Experts say it could indicate that the area is a migration or feeding location. I'd be interested to know what the experienced outdoorsman thinks about this. Nevertheless, it's always fascinating to see wild animals in their natural habitats. As an add-on to the last photo, this next one is a cool one too. A man placed a camera in a dilapidated pole barn on the back of his property. He noticed a family of deer would come and bed down in there. And as you can see, this one seems to have noticed the camera, while the other one seems to have taken a liking to the protection of the old truck. On another note, let me know in the comments if you can spot the third deer in this picture. I suspect some will find it easily, but some, not so much. This next clip shows a few photos from a trail camera. A man captured a rare and intense standoff between a coyote and a bobcat on his trail cam. The footage shows the two animals facing off, with the coyote appearing to be on the defensive as the bobcat advances. Despite their similarities in size, the bobcat wins the standoff and the coyote eventually retreats. While bobcats and coyotes rarely fight, each knows the other is a formidable foe. This kind of confrontation is not unusual among wild animals, as they are often competing for the same resources, such as food and territory. It's interesting to see the dynamic between the two species, and it's a reminder that not everything has to come to blows. Bobcats and coyotes rarely fight because each knows the other is a formidable foe. And honestly, it's not worth the hassle of getting injured. There's much easier prey out there, and plenty of it. Anyhow, the man who captured this footage is lucky. Seems to have some pretty cool animals on his property. The security camera system of a home in Henderson, Kentucky, recently captured eerie footage of what appears to be an apparition. The homeowners, Pamela and Rick Carter, were so spooked by the footage that they are now considering moving from their home. The strange scene was reportedly captured earlier this month at the Carters' home. According to the couple, the potential spirit had been spotted in the flesh a few days earlier when they saw a strange man walking down the street before disappearing. Pamela said it was the second time the mysterious figure had been spotted, and 2 days later, they checked the security footage and saw the same mysterious individual again, this time seemingly materializing out of thin air at the end of their driveway. Possible apparition is clearly some kind of figure that takes a few steps down the street and then dissipates into thin air. When Pamela went outside to look for the man, she didn't see anyone, leading her to assume that it was some kind of ghost. On a similar note, it wasn't just Pamela who has noticed some spooky things going on in their area. The following day, her neighbor admitted to having a ghost living in her house. The mother of two claims she feels like someone is listening when she is alone in the house, and has even felt someone throwing something at her. What do you guys think about this? Is this just a man walking and a glitch in the camera? Or is this an actual apparition? Often known as the vampire deer, this little guy was picked up from a field camera. This is the Chinese water deer, a small herbivorous mammal native to China and Korea. These smaller deer typically weigh between 33 to 65 pounds and stand around 2 to 3 feet tall at the shoulder. Obviously, they are known for their large tusk-like teeth, which both males and females have. These vampire deer live in wetlands and grasslands near water sources such as rivers and lakes. They're most active during the early morning and late afternoon, and are known to be solitary creatures outside of the breeding season. They are also a protected species in China and Korea, and hunting them is illegal. Beside the fact that it looks menacing, it is unclear as to why evolution chose fangs over antlers for this deer. One expert suggests that all deer had both fangs and antlers at one point, and over time the larger deer kept the headgear, and the smaller deer did away with them in favor of the teeth. Nonetheless, an awesome specimen. A trail camera set up in the woods of Colorado captured a mysterious unicorn-like creature wandering through the forest. The animal, with a single horn protruding from its forehead, has caused a great deal of speculation and excitement among local residents, and even some wildlife experts. As we've all been taught, the existence of unicorns are purely fictional. They're mythical creatures, and it's impossible for a real animal to have a single horn protruding from its forehead. Well, this seems like a real animal, and that's really a horn. In all honesty, it looks like a perfectly healthy elk with some type of mutation that makes the horn grow from its head. Some people are claiming that this is photographic trickery, and that an animal like that doesn't exist. I'd beg to differ, and I think it's a really cool camera capture. Let me know what you guys think about this. Has anyone seen anything like this? Speaking of antlers in the wrong places, a deer caught on a trail camera has been captured with an antler stuck in its neck. The footage shows the deer moving around with the antler protruding from its neck, seemingly unbothered by it. This type of phenomenon is called cross-browsing, where bucks during rut engage in intense fights and one of them can get their antlers stuck in another's flesh. While it may look painful, these types of injuries are usually not life-threatening, and the deer will typically be able to remove the antler on its own. But of course, in some cases, the protrusion may cause significant damage to the animal, to its vision, mobility, making it more vulnerable to predators or disease. It's always amazing to see the way these animals have the capability to adapt and heal. This video captured around midnight shows farm goats in Brazil corralled into a pen and relaxing during the cooler evening. However, suddenly, they catch wind of something and realize they aren't alone. As the stragglers retreat to the comfort of the herd, it's kind of eerie to see all of their eyes looking in the same direction, out of the pen, trying to see what they're sensing. Well, it doesn't take long to see what they're worried about as a puma enters the camera and is now in the pen. I am curious as to why the cat paused there for a moment. Maybe he heard a person or something. Anyhow, the puma corners them and takes his pick. Quicker than he enters, he's out of there. He leaps, goat in mouth. Such power. I'll stop the clip there, but we'll link it in the description if you'd like to see the rest of the clip. It's only a few seconds longer, but some viewers might not like it. This next video shows a not often talked about topic, however, an increasing one. There has been a recent increase in reports of UFO sightings by pilots. These sightings have occurred all over the world and have been reported by pilots of commercial and military aircraft. The pilots have described the UFOs as being a variety of shapes and sizes, and some have reported that the objects were able to move at high speeds and make sudden maneuvers that would be impossible for known aircraft. The FAA has encouraged pilots to report any unusual sightings to the agency, and many pilots have done so. They also state that they take these reports very seriously and investigate each one thoroughly. The military and other government agencies have also been monitoring these sightings. Let's watch a clip of the pilot explaining what he saw.
What the common denominator is, but it's always at the bottom of the Big Dipper.
Mark Hulsey is a former F-18 fighter pilot. This August, he was piloting a private jet off the coast of Los Angeles when he says he saw as many as 7 mysterious objects appearing to fly thousands of feet above him. This is audio from that night alerting air traffic control.
Yeah, I don't know. You're not entering any military airspace or anything. I'm not sure.
The increasing number of UFO sightings reported by pilots has led to a renewed interest in the phenomenon of UFOs and the possibility of extraterrestrial life.
Bet my life on it. There are many more pilots and a lot more videos that are going to come out. I know this is going to happen. I know it is.
What do you guys believe? Nevertheless, the continued reports by credible witnesses like pilots add more weight to the idea that there may be something strange happening in our skies, and it deserves further investigation. This next trail camera caught a deer dancing? Nah, I don't think so. At first glance, I thought the deer might have walked into a nest of fire ants. But on second thought, she could also be engaged in a behavior called stotting or pronking. Stotting is when a deer is startled or frightened. They jump into the air kicking their legs out before landing on all fours and running away. This behavior is seen in various species. They use this behavior as a means of communication and to signal their fitness and alertness to potential predators. It can also be used to assess the predator. Assess whether he or she is able to chase the pronking animal or not. Nevertheless, it's very interesting. Recently, a photograph of an unusual creature has been circulating on social media and causing quite a stir among wildlife experts and enthusiasts. This photograph, which was reportedly taken in the forests of Montana, appears to show a bear-elk hybrid, a creature that has never been seen or documented before. The animal in the photograph is clearly a bear, but it has a set of large antlers, similar to those of an elk, growing from its head. The antlers appear to be fully grown and well formed, which has led some experts to believe that the animal is not a genetic mutation or a hoax, but an actual hybrid of a bear and an elk. Now, the idea of a bear-elk hybrid seems highly unlikely. Bears and elk are from different families, and hybridization is rare in animals with distinct genetic makeup. And there is no scientific proof that such crossbreeding is possible in nature. So is this a hoax, or are we going to call it a belk? I'm going to play a little clip from this video that I found. I'm going to show a clip from a reported documentary. The film's maker claims that in 1942, German soldiers killed an animal similar to a wolfman. As you can see, the animal appears to be bipedal and has a strange physical build. Let me know what you guys think about this. This next clip is a viewer submission from Ronnie O, and it shows a picture that I've only seen in my nightmares. He explains that one of his trail cameras set up in the woods of Vermont captured a mysterious wolf-like creature wandering through the forest. The creature, which some are saying is just a gray wolf with mange, was captured on camera in the early hours of the morning and has caused a great deal of speculation and excitement among local residents and wildlife experts. One of the first things that stands out about the creature in the photo is its size. Wolves are typically around 4 to 5 feet long and can weigh up to 150 pounds. But the animal in the photo appears to be significantly larger, more heavily built than a typical wolf. He also has thick, shaggy fur and a broad snout. Some experts have suggested that it could be a rare, undiscovered subspecies of wolf. Another intriguing aspect of the creature is its coloration. Gray wolves are typically a mix of gray, black, and white, but this animal appears to be entirely brown, which would make it quite unusual. This coloration could also be due to the camera flash, or the time of the day it was captured, as it was captured in the early hours and the darkness might have added to this brown coloration. The location of the sighting is also worth noting. Vermont is home to a small population of gray wolves, but they are not commonly found in this part of the state, which has led some to suggest that the animal in the photo may be a recently reintroduced or escaped captive. However, experts are currently not able to confirm if it is indeed a wolf. It's difficult to tell from just the one photograph, and they would need more evidence. Even though the Vermont Fish and Wildlife Department, who have seen the photograph, are excited and has begun an investigation to figure out more about this mysterious creature, they have urged anyone who sees the animal or has any additional information to report it to the department immediately. Let me know what you guys think about this picture. I wish he had sent more in. Nonetheless, let me know what you guys think about this photo. As the video starts, you can see a doe and her fawn are at a watering hole. Man, that thing is young. Look how small the fawn is. Mom perks up and she senses something is nearby. As the attack starts, a bobcat crouched and hidden in the high grass sees his opportunity and strikes, narrowly missing the fawn as Mom steps in to stick up for her baby. Mom wasn't scared of that bobcat, she was ready to roll. The fawn did survive and headed off into the woods. Incredible capture here. A pretty funny video here. A bobcat can be seen marking his territory, then heading off deeper into the woods. A half hour or so later, the scent brings a coyote to the area, and he decides to mark right on top of the bobcat's marking. I guess they're playing a little game of who's the boss. Great capture here, and the owner has a nice little spot here to capture wildlife. This next video is incredible. It actually blows me away. Oftentimes in mating seasons, two bucks will spar with each other to attract a potential mate, and sometimes their antlers become positioned just right and they lock. I've shown cases of two bucks with their headgear interlocked before, and they have always had a happy ending. Well, this one is no different. Taking place in Kansas, a game warden has answered a call about the bucks being locked together. As he follows them deeper into the tree line, they stop at a stream. The officer is able to throw something over the two deer, and what he does next is incredible. Looks like something out of a movie. The warden draws his service pistol and snipes the antlers of the deer. Don't worry, he doesn't hit the deer. There wouldn't be a video if he did, I imagine. Instead, he shoots and is able to clip the deer's antlers and free them. Crazy. Of course, the shot scares both of the deer, so they jump. But if you look at the deer that leaves out of the right of your screen, you can see he's missing some antlers now. Hey, a small price to pay to keep on living. They'll grow back. This is pretty creepy footage. So the owner of the property, who says he's lived here for 15 years, he has never seen anything like this. A man named Robin Searcy only opens his gate when he needs to, closing it right back to keep his dogs from running through the neighborhood. He always shuts it. However, one morning, he says an unexpected overnight visitor left it open. He awoke the next morning to see notifications on his phone that there was movement behind his house around 2 a.m. As he checks his camera, he was pretty startled. What he saw was a young girl coming onto his property in a nightgown. He had no idea what she could have been doing there. He thought his eyes might be playing tricks on him, but the next morning, he looked around and saw that his gate was left open. He zoomed in and looked at the footage every which way, but he didn't recognize her. He took the footage to some neighbors to see if they recognized the young girl, but no one did. They had never seen her before, and the direct neighbor to his right didn't catch her on his camera. Searcy thought he had a ghost on his hands. The fact that she's dressed that way makes me feel like something more sinister might be at play. Like she escaped from a kidnapper or something and is looking for help. I don't know. Searcy reached out to the local news station and they came out and did a special on it. Now, fast forward to about a week later. A woman shows up at the police station. Not a little girl, a woman. She came forward and said that the photo on the outdoor camera footage was her and that her car had broken down and she was looking for help. She didn't give any other details, but still a very surprising thing to wake up to. I'm sure Mr. Searcy feels a little better about this, but that's still a surprising thing to wake up to. This outdoor security cam shows a cat just cleaning itself in a bin. He's just relaxing, but the camera also catches something else creeping up on this cat. A bear comes into frame and takes a little sniff of the cat, and it looks like it lightly and gently caresses the cat's paw. Once the cat realizes this is a massive bear inches away, he bolts. It actually looks like it scares the bear more than the cat. The owner says the bear frequents this property, and that is one of the main reasons he got the outdoor camera. As we get toward the end of the clip, the cat returns the favor and runs the bear off. This is a wild one. Check this one out. The keen vision of raptors enables them to fly quickly and strike with incredible precision. Given this, and having observed this behavior several times, I began to wonder which of the finches was the main target of the hawk. The hawk no doubt left with something to eat, but did it have to switch its focus mid-strike when the finch on the left tried to escape? This happened so fast that it's possible the left finch is actually in the hawk's grasp. Furthermore, the owner of the feeder and camera setup claims that the hawk caught 2 of the 3 finches in a single swoop. Very impressive. Since all I have is the video, I can only confirm that this was a successful hunt. Hawks are known for their exceptional eyesight and can spot rabbits from a mile away. So adjusting mid-flight and grabbing the next bird or snatching up both birds in one go is definitely within the realm of their capabilities. Incredible footage here. Caught in the northeastern state of Maine, we see some white-tailed deer bound through the trees, and we quickly see why they're running. A pack of coyotes are on their heels. I love seeing this type of real-world action in the wilderness. I'm not going to rewind it to that part, but the doe that ran across the front of the screen had some blood in the white of her tail. Did anyone catch that? I wonder what happened there. Deer don't usually give birth this time of the year. But of course, one of the coyotes might have gotten her as well. Interestingly enough, another person commented and he thought that these were coy wolves, a coyote-wolf hybrid found throughout eastern North America. You can see them all the way from Canada and south to Virginia. Coy wolves have the common characteristics of the coyote and the wolf. Size-wise, they're bigger than a coyote but smaller than your common gray wolf. Let me know if you know anything about these coy wolves. From what I've read, they're far more aggressive. Nevertheless, great footage. Let me know if anyone has had any contact with coy wolves. I'd be interested to hear more about them. This picture hit social media and caused a minor frenzy in the southern United States. Trail camera footage from October 14th of 2022, taken in southern Louisiana, left a lot of people scratching their heads. In the picture, you can obviously see a big ball or a mound of hair, and honestly, it may be just that. Or it could be something else. Many people think this trail camera captured a Sasquatch running or shying away, hiding its face from the camera. Others think it's a bear or just photoshopped. Some online viewers had some funny things to say about it. It could be a potential Ewok, a tumble pig, the hair from the shower drain. And one guy even said he's pretty sure that's his mother-in-law. Anyhow, let me know what you guys think it could be. To me, the footage doesn't show any definitive evidence. But maybe someone can make something out. What do you guys think? Do we think it's a chicken? Or could it be a turkey? Nevertheless, great camera footage. This is a funny posting which some viewers might have already seen. But the gentleman that placed this decoy has seen this deer do this more than once. Apparently, the deer has some pent-up aggression he needs to get rid of. You can see he's lifted the decoy doe up above his head with his antlers. I mean, this buck is a big boy. I was curious. From the picture, it looks like this decoy is a doe. I wonder why he would challenge her like this. Maybe he's just annoyed because he knows she's fake. I mean, look, he is staring directly into the camera. This trail camera snapped the picture at just the right time. In this picture, the hawk actually came from the left side, and the squirrel was able to spot him at the last moment and dodge him. My favorite part is seeing how the hawk spreads his wings and spins on a dime to try to double back to get the squirrel. Very impressive the way he's contorted his wings to slow down. Fun fact, hawks generally take their food from the ground, while the falcon primarily catches his prey in the air. I've seen a few falcons at work, and that's amazing. Let me know if you have. They're very impressive if you've seen either. An incredible mid-air capture here. From what I can tell, a young buck appears to be annoyed about something this fox has done, or is about to do. The buck leaps at the fox and tries to clip him with his front hooves. It's not too often you see a deer be aggressive unless it really has to be, or there's kids at play. The picture is cut off, but it looks like there's a feeder in the background, so I thought this was about food. But I got to thinking, perhaps the fox is after maybe a smaller deer and the buck is trying to intervene. Nevertheless, the camera snapped a pic at the perfect time. Another incredible angle captured by a game camera. An adult bald eagle seems to be claws out on his way down at this juvenile bald eagle. Those talons are impressive. Food is the currency in the wild. It's like money to people. It can make animals do some crazy things. I wonder if these birds are family. A great live action shot here. We can see the duck in the foreground safely flies away. But unfortunately, it appears the bobcat made a meal of one of the others. And this last guy here, he hit the jackpot. Just funneling the feed right into his gullet. These hogs have voracious appetites. A hunter from Idaho captured this incredible footage while hunting mule deer. He actually took the footage with his cell phone through his spotting scope while he was spotting deer from the top of a mountain. Okay, so the deer closest to us is the one we're honed in on, and just under the deer, 20-30 feet on the screen, is the bobcat that is stealthily creeping up behind this deer. I'll let you watch from here.
Oh my god. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Okay, so a few things. It's crazy how close the cat gets. I can't believe how quietly he snuck up behind the deer. I mean, everyone watching this knows how skittish deer can be. He gets inches away and you can tell that the deer never saw him coming. Another thing to mention is, how did none of the herd have any idea that that cat was in the area? I mean, obviously they didn't smell him. Maybe he was just bedded down in there perfectly. I don't know. Quite the brawl ensued as the deer is fighting for its life. Look at the ground they had covered as they wrestle and tumble through the woods. It's unbelievable. Here's another look at the video with better clarity. It's zoomed in a bit. After you watch it, let me know in the comments what you think. I mean, this is some of the coolest footage I've ever seen. This next clip offers an exceptional and informative peek into the nocturnal behaviors of crocodiles in their natural surroundings. As you can see, after hunting, they're consuming their prey in the water. The footage highlights the astounding strength and savagery of these prehistoric reptiles. Recognized as one of the planet's most formidable creatures, this video is a strong affirmation of the crocodile's predatory prowess. I mean, this clip delivers a remarkable viewing experience, but also underlines the significance of treating wildlife with respect in their natural habitats. Over the years, footage of crocodiles in their natural environments has intrigued and bewitched viewers globally. This video adds a distinctive viewpoint, illuminating the habits and routines of crocodiles amidst the night's gloom in the forest. Man, this video stands as a profound reminder of the awe-evoking power of the natural world. And yes, still, in my opinion, crocodiles and alligators are the scariest creatures on the planet. So check this out. Two bobcats have spotted each other from afar and they start calling out like crazy. As they gradually draw near each other, their gazes remain firmly locked, accompanied by a continuous rumbling growl. They adopt these peculiar stances, with their tails swiftly flickering back and forth. The larger of the two, commonly referred to as the great cat, happens to be the female, while we see the male sporting a distinctive reddish coat. It's pretty cool that someone caught this interaction on their trail camera, as we all know bobcats tend to stay out of sight. And to boot, this footage was actually taken on Valentine's Day. When it comes to physical displays, bobcats may exhibit various behaviors, such as posturing, tail twitching, and other forms of body language that indicate their readiness to mate. Male bobcats have been known to greatly increase the amount of territory they cover when looking for a potential mate, hoping to come across a female in her own territory. Great camera footage, and I say for now, we'll leave these two lovebirds be. A healthcare professional and outdoor enthusiast from Canada has caught on camera an event she described only as two witches performing a flesh-eating ceremony. She caught all of this on a trail camera she installed near her house. "I can't make heads or tails of what's going on," said Karina Stanhope, 36, from Powell River, British Columbia. "It scared the living daylights out of us. It's not an everyday sight." Upon finding a dead deer in her garden on her land, Stanhope said she thought it was odd, but also presented a cool opportunity to see what might come feed on it. She rigged the camera up and waited. There was a bobcat that visited, which was cool, but what came next blew her mind and her grandfather's mind. When she called him over to review the footage, they thought their eyes were playing tricks on them. Not one, but two naked women feasting on the dead deer carcass just as it turned dark. Yes, you heard that correctly. They were eating the dead deer. Stanhope reported that the individuals arrived roughly 10 minutes following sundown to consume parts of the deer carcass. She told the media that the apparent flesh eaters appeared disheveled, and it almost looked like they were donning wigs. Quote, "It's not quite clear from the images, but the hoof was brought directly to her mouth," she said. "I'm unsure if she was kissing it or sniffing or consuming it, but the idea of touching a decaying carcass like that nauseates me. The bacterial load must have been immense. Her grandfather thinks that the individuals were definitely eating the carcass, but I think he was more hung up that they were naked, saying perhaps they were paying tribute, but they were unclothed. Stanhope acknowledged that she felt disturbed because the event happened just a short 2-minute stroll from her house and that she was afraid about the well-being of her horses. I was worried about them interfering with my horses at night. The horses have always seemed quite edgy and uneasy around that area. At first I thought they were just imagining things, so I disregarded it. Maybe now I'm inclined to believe them. The nurse is hopeful that the incident was merely a practical joke or that the participants were on some potent substances. She opted not to notify the police after her grandfather noted that nothing explicitly illegal had really taken place. The internet buzzed when Stanhope uploaded the photos, with some viewers suggesting it was a joke, while others speculated about satanic or other supernatural involvement. "That's essentially a strolling devil from hell," one user wrote. "If you hear shrieking, stay indoors and grab a firearm, and make sure you leave it be." More than a few proposed that the figures were skinwalkers or wendigos, both of which are harmful entities linked with Native American legends. I'll tell you what, no matter who or what they are, this footage and the story in general are pretty crazy. What are you guys doing if these two show up on your trail cameras? Let me know. Capable of stretching up to an astounding 30 feet in length, the dimensions of anacondas are extraordinary. A striking example of their magnitude was caught on a trail camera, showcasing the immense power of these creatures. In the recorded scene, an anaconda tries to scale a tree, but of course the tree can't handle the weight of this massive serpent. I mean, this thing looks like something out of a movie. You can't help but be amazed by it. On average, adult female anacondas typically reach lengths of around 15 to 20 feet and can weigh between 200 and 300 pounds. However, exceptionally large individuals have been recorded, with some reports claiming weights of up to 550 pounds, or 250 kilos. Snakes that big also have the potential to reach lengths of over 25 feet. Male anacondas are generally smaller than females, averaging around 9 to 12 feet in length and weighing around 100 to 150 pounds. I don't care which gender it is. I'm not interested in running into either one of these in the wild. Just extraordinary creatures. A field researcher embarked on an intriguing experiment to understand how bears interact with technology. His aim was to find ways to deter bears from human-populated areas, thus minimizing unnecessary contact between humans and these large mammals. To achieve this, he decided to use a roadkill deer carcass as bait, to which he would run electricity, hoping to deter any approaching bear. To carry out this experiment, he suspended the deer carcass from a makeshift contraption and attached a battery-powered fence energizer to it. Soon, a bear approached the carcass with caution. After taking a few tentative nibbles, the bear was shocked by the electricity and ran away. However, as night fell, the bear returned, now more hesitant than before. Once again, it approached the carcass, got shocked, and ran off. You might think that this repeated shock treatment would deter the bear permanently, but that's far from what happened. Bears, as it turns out, are incredibly persistent creatures. Even after getting shocked twice, the bear made a third attempt. On high alert, it couldn't ignore the sight and smell of the dead deer hanging before its eyes. What happened next was a testament to the bear's intelligence and strength. The bear managed to disconnect the electricity with its paws, tearing down the entire contraption. The wooden stand that held the carcass was ripped apart, showcasing the immense power of the bear. Unsurprisingly, the bear made off with the deer, reinforcing the notion that bears are extraordinarily persistent beings. So picture this, two buddies are just cruising down this lonely stretch of highway when they spot this man just lying there by the road. No shirt on, just jeans, definitely sketchy. They pull over, not sure what they're about to walk into. They're not even sure the guy's alive. They yell out to him but get no answer. By the time they walk up, he's stood up. He's a bit wobbly. The guys are filming and talking to him. And let me tell you, something's clearly not right with him. He's mumbling some stuff incoherently. Then, Out of nowhere, the guy moans and starts dragging himself up the embankment. You ever see one of those zombie movies? Or heard about someone partying a little too hard, totally out of it? That's what this guy's acting like. Completely out of this world. It really freaked the guys out. The man crawling doesn't even seem to care or notice the branches scratching his bare skin as he crawls up. Just keeps going, eyes blank. It's like a scene from a nightmare, honestly. The buddies, they've seen enough. They bolt back to their truck, peel out of there like bats out of hell. And as they're driving away, they can't shake the image of that guy. They keep asking themselves if that was someone just high on drugs, or maybe was he something far scarier? Each journey deeper into the wilderness lends the possibility of a peculiar sight. And our latest venture has thrown up a truly baffling figure. I covered a very similar topic briefly in the last video. A brown, hairy creature emerges from the river, holding a smaller creature in its grasp. At first glance, it's a sight that we only recognize as the legendary Bigfoot. And as we all know, any mention of his name instantly sparks a debate. One of the most notable incidents that this image echoes was caught on film in the 1960s by Roger Patterson and Robert Gimlin near Bluff Creek, California. The footage, often referred to as the Patterson-Gimlin film, supposedly shows a Bigfoot moving across a clearing, and to this day it's considered one of the most compelling pieces of evidence supporting the existence of Bigfoot. Now, in regards to our image, the interpretations vary wildly. Some say it could be a burly fisherman, kitted out with a wide array of fishing gear and waders, but the sight of the smaller creature in its arms has stirred up another theory. Could this be an elusive Bigfoot, perhaps even carrying a baby Bigfoot? I mean, the figure in our picture does have a distinctly non-human appearance, so we can't rule out the possibility of it being something quite out of the ordinary. But the way it moves does look more human, I have to admit that. As always, it's up to you to draw your own conclusions, but please let me know what you think. Is it an angler with an impressive haul, or a glimpse of the elusive Bigfoot in a tender familial moment? The bobcat and coyote, both indigenous carnivores of North America, share similar habitats, which leads to sporadic clashes between these two species. These conflicts often stem from resource competition, particularly over food. In this video clip, we observe a bobcat trying to dissuade a coyote from reaching its meal. The bobcat aims to commandeer the coyote's food, a frequent strategy among this species. However, the unusual part is that this behavior has been going on for over a week. The bobcat has been persistently tormenting the coyote, obstructing it from getting its food. As the footage shows, the coyote isn't intimidated. He holds firm and isn't going to give this up, at least not easily. The bobcat, sensing the coyote isn't going to ever fully leave his prey and retreat, seemingly decides that the juice isn't worth the squeeze in this situation and heads off in the other direction. Such interactions are typical in forests where animals are required to compete for scarce resources. That's not really the phenomenal part. It's the fact that these two have been dueling for over a week. I wonder if that means that the prey in the area is scarce, that this kill is such a prize that it garners the attention of two predators. Or if the bobcat's just being opportunistic. Anyhow, observing these events is captivating as they offer an insight into the intricate dynamics of the natural world. Really, really cool. This next clip is a heartwarming, intense documentation of a mother elephant's love and sacrifice for her calf. In an attempt to keep her baby, who was trapped in a pit, alive, the mother elephant trapped herself in the same pit. Without any concern for her own safety, she chose to kneel in the pit to breastfeed her calf, a position she maintained for 3 days and 2 nights. The sight moved the rescuers to tears, who attempted to coax the mother elephant out of the pit, only to realize that she was too weak to move now. She had exhausted all her energy caring for her calf, and now her life was also in danger. Rescue efforts were swiftly mobilized. The team used a large crane to lift the female elephant from the pit. However, the situation was dire. The mother was not breathing and unresponsive. As they tried to resuscitate her, the calf, witnessing its mother lying motionless, desperately tried to reach her, but was still trapped in the pit. Its heart-wrenching cries echoed around the pit, revealing the deep bond between the mother and child. The rescuers continued their efforts to save the mother elephant, while others helped the calf to escape the pit. The mother's heartbeat had stopped, but the team refused to give up. They tirelessly performed CPR on her. The scene made all the more emotional by the steady rain from the sky. Meanwhile, the calf, having been helped out of the pit, slowly approached its mother. In an absolute miracle moment that moved everyone present, the mother elephant's heartbeat returned. She snapped out of it. She stood up, much to the joy and relief of all the rescuers. The mother and calf reunion was a touching scene. After a while, the mother elephant led her calf towards the forest, pausing to seemingly express her gratitude to the rescuers before disappearing into the wilderness. Man, what an amazing video. Just an awesome message about the selflessness and greatness of maternal love. This next eerie and bizarre trail camera footage has led us to a creature that at first glance resembles a dog. Yet its unusual appearance has sparked speculation of it being a chupacabra. One such incident that fueled these theories occurred in Texas in 2007, where a rancher discovered a strange, hairless, dog-like creature feasting on her livestock. The unusual animal was promptly dubbed a chupacabra, further stirring the folklore surrounding this creature. The term chupacabra is Spanish and translates to goat sucker, which originates from the creature's reported habit of feeding on livestock, particularly goats. You can't miss its long, lean body and an extended tail, features that are commonly associated with descriptions of chupacabras. It's interesting to note that chupacabra's first sightings were reported in Puerto Rico in the mid-1990s. Since then, sightings have been reported as far north as Maine and as far south as Chile. However, many supposed chupacabra sightings often turn out to be misidentified wildlife, particularly canids afflicted with mange, a skin condition that results in hair loss and the thickening of skin. Whether the figure captured on our trail camera is a chupacabra or not, it certainly adds to the mystique and enduring appeal of these unexplained phenomena. Let me know what you guys think this could be. During a 2014 Christmas celebration, a family's cheerful video unexpectedly captures a mysterious occurrence. Just as they voice their holiday greetings and the woman filming sweeps her camera past the Christmas tree, a shadowy figure is spotted lurking in the nearby woods, which drew immediate attention from several family members. In a hurry for answers, she rushes outdoors to film the figure again and asks another person who's recording if he noticed it, only to be told he didn't. She insists on the figure's large size. Shortly afterward, their dog aggressively chases what they suspect is Bigfoot, very much bothered by the presence of whatever this creature is. The situation escalates as the figure comes alarmingly close, and everyone makes a quick exit to the safety of the home. The woman filming tries to enhance the footage at key moments, hoping to provide a clearer glimpse of the Bigfoot. Some viewers analyzing the woman's reaction speculate that the footage is fake. Others are in the comments arguing that different people react to shock in varied ways. The dog's odd and seemingly untrainable reaction adds to the mystery. Yet some suggest it might simply be a man in a costume. The video's start, capturing a Bigfoot sighting right as the camera rolls, also raises suspicions of its authenticity. However, viewer opinions are most definitely divided, with as many believers as skeptics debating the reliability of this video. In this footage, we see what looks like a Bigfoot shaking a tree in a Florida nature reserve. The folks at Sasquatch Academy think it's trying to strip the bark off the tree to get to grubs and other bugs. This park is known for having many trees stripped like this, up to about 8 or 9 feet high. Let's take a closer look and enhance the video. People are wondering why the video stops so suddenly. The shaky camera is likely because the person filming had to zoom in a lot to get the creature on camera. If it's just a person in a costume, they must be really strong to shake such a big tree. Some viewers also point out that the creature has really long arms, which makes them think it could be real. It's pretty surprising to see how easily it bends the tree. But then again, it could be just a strong person in a costume. Others think the way it walks is too much like a human for it to be a real Bigfoot. We can't find any info about who made this video or why they were filming, so all we can do is look at this video and try to figure it out. In today's viewer submission, we dive into a chilling mystery from a quiet rural farm. The owner has sent us 2 trail camera photos that have captured something truly eerie. As we look at these images, we invite you to gaze into the unknown with us. In the first photo, taken under the darkness of night, we see a silhouette that chills the blood. It stands at the edge of a forest clearing, its outline barely recognizable against the fog that comes through the trees. The figure's stance is unnaturally calm, showing a haunting presence that feels almost inhuman. In the second image, the creature appears closer. If we dare call it a creature, for its form is as elusive as any cryptid. The same stance is evident, but this time, there's an undeniable clarity to its posture. Its head is tilted in an almost curious, unsettling manner, as if it's aware of the camera's gaze. Now, let's take a moment to talk about the chilling similarities. Both images feature the figure with a piercing gaze that seems to shine even in the low light, eyes glowing. Its presence is commanding, and there's a consistency in its peculiar build. It seems to be moving with a purpose, stepping forward in a way that stirs a primal fear deep within us. Yet, despite these similarities, questions linger that deepen the mystery. Is this the same entity captured twice? If so, what does it want, as it has showed up on the farm for 2 random nights? Or are we witnessing different beings, each with the same haunting characteristics, part of a phenomenon that we don't even know about? The farm's owner reports a silence that descends upon the land with these visitations, a stillness that speaks of a world beyond our own. Animals on the farm react with a mix of fear and agitation, as if they too sense the oddness of these figures. As these images fade from the screen, they leave us thinking the nature of what has been captured. Is it a trick of light and shadow, or something more profound, more unsettling? These photographs stand as an eerie testament to the unknown, a puzzle that signals the brave to solve. So, we turn to you. What do you believe is captured in these images? Share your thoughts, theories, and let's unravel this problem together. Could this be evidence of a cryptid, a ghostly apparition, or simply the unknown wonders of the natural world? The answers remain hidden in the mists from which these figures emerge. Now, let's explore a video from Russia, reportedly showing a Bigfoot. The translated description expresses uncertainty. I'm not sure what or who this is. The video, set in a forest, shows a man alarmed by a figure walking nearby.
Серега, что это? Серега, это Серега. Серега.
It was posted in 2011, so let's examine it. Analysis of the video reveals the figure moves with bent knees at times, a difficult act to fake, suggesting this might not be a hoax. This footage is among the more chilling Bigfoot videos I've seen on YouTube. Yet, many viewers argue it's a hoax, believing the figure is just a person in a suit, trying to mimic a Sasquatch's walk. Robert Dodson, a well-known hunter of Bigfoot in Texas who sadly passed away not long ago, captured significant Bigfoot activity in his study area. This was in a video that lasted for 25 minutes, named Bigfoot is Pissed. In it, he records several nighttime encounters in the woods. Throughout the video, you can often see a pair of shining eyes. Around the 7-minute mark, you can spot these eyes blinking and then hiding. Robert mentions he thinks he saw something, A similar event occurs again about 9 minutes in. The most notable moment happens in the video when a rock is hurled towards Robert.
Well, that was a rock. Oh, he's behind me there.
He quickly turns the camera back, and you can see the same creature again. This causes him to start running. I'm going to work on enhancing the key parts of the video myself. Let me know if you all notice anything interesting. A photograph from a trail camera in New York State shows what appears to be a ghostly figure following a pair of hunters. Shared with Coast to Coast AM by Jesse Grandel, the chilling image was captured in December of 2021. Her husband Bob and their daughter were out hunting on their property in the community of Savona. The unsettling photo went unnoticed until last week when he was going through his trail camera pictures from the past few years and noticed the spooky translucent figure walking behind them. Jesse says, "He made me look at it and I asked him who was with them because I don't ever remember them taking anyone hunting." Jesse recalls, and he said no one. Father and daughter were both a bit freaked out by it. Jesse said her husband subsequently shared the photo on social media, and a friend's father recognized the individual as a man named Paul, who used to live in our house, and he hunted those same woods. He moved out of our place in either late 2003 or 2004 and died a couple years later. Jesse says we never met the man, so we had no idea what he looked like. While skeptics will no doubt contend that this spirit is merely a trick of light and shadow or the product of digital editing, but Jesse insists that the photo has not been doctored in any way, and that it was simply one of hundreds of otherwise normal pictures captured by the trail camera. Wow, that's crazy. With that in mind, what do you guys make of this figure in the image? Could Bob and his daughter have been followed by the ghost of the man who once hunted that same area? Who once lived in their house? An incredible story here in our next clip. A woman who was out hiking in the Saguaro National Park ends up having the scare of a lifetime. It all started when she noticed the nearby deer, whose company she had been enjoying, abruptly started to bleat and make noises. She could tell they were alerting to something. Then in an instant, they took off. Her own animal instincts kicked in and she headed off to her tent. And it's a good thing she did. The hiker says she's not even really sure why she looked up, but when she did, she saw a mountain lion lying in wait on a tree branch almost directly above her. As she started filming it, she tried yelling at the lion to scare it away, but that didn't work. So then she got really brave and threw some rocks at it, hoping to scare it off and not piss it off. Thankfully, the cougar eventually got bored and wandered away, so the hiker was able to gather herself in her tent. Man, what a freaky experience. Reddit user Altruistic Cell posted this photo to a Reddit message board claiming it was Bigfoot's hand. It has popped up more recently, even though the photo was taken in November of 2002. It went viral around that time and has been making its rounds again. I mean, I don't know if it's Bigfoot's hand, but whatever it is, it's pretty creepy. The hand looks huge, insinuating it belongs to something huge. Its fingers have an odd shape, while its fingernails look to be slightly sharpened. I was scrolling the comments, and if it's not the hand of Bigfoot, it seems the next most popular thing is that it's a movie prop or part of a Halloween costume. While this picture has plenty of skeptics, there are believers that this is Bigfoot's hand. Let me know what you guys think this could be. This next clip shows footage straight out of a horror story, a nightmare brought to life. According to the security camera footage, a colossal black bear was seen entering the home where a teenager was sound asleep on the couch. The sudden sound of the door opening jolted the boy awake, and he found himself at a loss for words as he saw the beast making its way in. You can tell the gravity of the situation dawned on him as the bear approached him. In that moment, he realized that his life was in grave danger. However, he popped up, mustered the courage to lunge at the bear, attempting to scare him off. Miraculously, the bear seemed frightened by the boy's attempts and eventually retreated back out of the house. The boy was left shaken to his core, but a sense of relief washed over him as he shut the door and he realized he had managed to escape becoming the bear's meal. The initial clip I saw of this was making fun of the boy's attempts to scare the bear away. Honestly, I think he did a pretty good job. Considering he was awakened out of the dead of sleep, I can't imagine waking up to this. Did you guys notice the ease in which the bear flung that door open? Sheer power. This is an extremely impressive video here. Look at how still his head is. This is a kestrel and they are excellent hunters, with the ability to hover in the air for extended periods of time as they search for prey. They typically feed on small mammals, birds, and insects. The kestrel is known for its distinctive hunting style, which involves hovering in the air above its prey before diving down quickly to make the kill. They are carnivores, and they can be found all over the world except for Antarctica and some oceanic islands. They love to roam open habitats such as grasslands, deserts, and savannas. And they are from the falcon family and often used in falconry. Another fun fact is that they find a partner and they mate for life. In Oregon, a passerby films a wolverine coming down a mountain and crossing the road. Wolverines are classified as threatened. However, 2 more sightings occurred last month in Oregon. The first confirmed sightings outside the wolverine's habitat in the Wallowa Mountains in over 30 years. Here's the moment a wolverine gets confronted by 2 hungry wolves. Man, I say it all the time, but these wolverines are big. Look at him compared to the wolves, who are also very big and healthy. He does a good job of not letting the wolves get behind him. Eventually, he's able to saunter off and live another day. This next clip is rare footage of a wolverine seen attempting a kill in 2017 near Ajax Mountain in Montana. It's estimated that less than 250 of these creatures roam in the lower 48. Look at how fast he's swimming. Look at this guy go. And again, look how big he is. He is huge and can really move. He's got his eyes fixed on the baby deer that's stuck in the shallow water. Eventually, the mama deer shows up, and that slows the wolverine down a little bit. The fawn is able to swim away and escape. Builders in the Indian state of Andhra Pradesh were surprised when they stumbled upon a set of strange-looking birds. These creepy birds had dark, black eyes that some people thought made them look like alien creatures. But upon closer inspection, it turns out that these birds are actually eastern barn owls, a species very closely related to the western barn owls commonly found in the US and Britain. So why do these guys look so strange? Well, it turns out that these birds were actually adolescents, who had recently grown out of their chick phase and were now transitioning into adulthood. This change made them look quite skinny and bizarre. It seems these birds go through stages just like humans do. Anyhow, I'd hate to be working on a big construction project and stumble upon these two. Scare you to death. A guy in Florida was kayaking along this little creek when he ran into a gigantic alligator, one that didn't seem too pleased to see him. At first, the man initially thought the alligator was just a shadow, but then he realized, no, it was not just a shadow. It was a pretty big alligator around 7 or 8 feet long. He grabbed his camera once he identified the alligator, But unfortunately, his kayak began to drift right over the predator, which definitely made the man a little antsy. As you can see, the alligator steps back a few times, but then stops and stands its ground. I mean, the man is merely feet away from this creature, and he admitted he was starting to feel pretty scared. However, to his surprise and his happiness, the alligator just let the boat pass right over him. The man just floated and sat in disbelief and took a moment to take it all in. I will say this about alligators. Above anything else in this world, they freak me out. We hear about shark attacks a little more often, even though they're super uncommon. But with a shark, it's usually a case of mistaken identity. They don't necessarily want to eat us. But with the alligator, that's the only thing on their mind. They absolutely want to eat us. And if they're not in the mood to eat us at that moment, they'll bury you under a log and save you for later. Yeah, no thanks. This photo was taken on Redstone Ranch and shared by a Redditor claiming that the glowing eyes in the background are those of a dog man. He went on to say that there had been some strange occurrences around his farm. More specifically, a deer carcass had been dragged from a nearby field, and that's never happened before. Some chickens had also been taken from the coop and killed, but not eaten. Any predators in his area would have definitely eaten all of the carcass and the chickens. And that definitely does sound a little strange to me. I know dogmen are real, but I've mostly heard of them eating what they killed. I've also heard of them sucking the blood out of some animals too, though. A few commenters on the post said that they thought they were the eyes from a cougar stalking a deer. That the camera angle and our depth perception of the photo makes it appear that the eyes are much taller than they really are. That's interesting. Let me know what you guys think about this capture. Another creepy trail camera photo captured here. Taken on a farm in 2020, the owner of the land said he captured this photo behind one of his feeding stations. And he adamantly believes it is either a dogman or a Bigfoot. What do you guys think about this? Most of the comments on Reddit were letting this person have it, claiming that it was a fake. That the color of the trees, that purplish tint, were clear signs that the photo was manipulated. They also claim that trail cameras generally take bursts, so where were the other photos? A small minority defended the pic, claiming that it looks real and that trail cameras have settings that could be programmed to produce only one picture. Taken by the Voyager's Wolf Project, cute footage of some wolf pups. It's adorable how they follow each other, like their pack instincts are so strong. Nice compilation here, but take a look at this black wolf. Wow. And then the next wolf that just plucks that fish out of that little stream? Way too easy. This little snippet shows a wolf covered in blood after feeding off a kill. It's amazing how these pack animals work together. Again, these clips are from the Voyager's Wolf Project, and the rest of their videos are packed with action, so go check them out. This is a pretty crazy / funny video here. Taken in, yep, you guessed it, Australia. A home security camera captured the moment a kangaroo and a man got into a fight in his front yard. You see the man come around the corner and the kangaroo is chasing him. I mean, I know they can be aggressive, but dang. The man gets up and is hitting the kangaroo with a stick, which doesn't seem to be doing much. Finally, the man takes the kangaroo down. All the while, his dog is barking in the fenced enclosure in the background. Man, I wish I knew what happened after this. I wish the camera didn't stop rolling. This is great. I don't mean to laugh because I could tell this man was fighting for his life. But it's just a great video. I don't have much information on this video other than a pilot saying he caught this on camera and thinks it's a UFO. I'm going to let it play a few times and I'd love to know everyone's thoughts. I mean, to me, it looks like it could just be a plane. It's oddly shaped and flying in the path of and very close to this other plane, but I just don't know. I'd be interested if there were any pilots listening to this that could shed some light on what this could be. First of all, is that an odd shape for a plane? Is the speed abnormal? And can you confirm or deny that this seems a pretty dangerous way to fly? Especially if in fact that it is just another plane and not a UFO. I don't know, I would just love to know more information about this. I'm unsure of which country this is in, but an outdoor camera captured the moments an owner and her dog have a scary encounter with a snake. The dog catches that thing out of the corner of his eye, and he doesn't hesitate. Goes into full attack mode and snatches this snake. He flings it into the driveway where he spins and flips it all over the place. You can see as the snake tries to bite the dog. One last time, the dog picks the snake up and takes him out of camera view. And you can see the husband and wife duo come out with a broom to break up the fight. Lastly, it's unknown if this snake was poisonous or not. He was definitely a pretty good sized one. Can anyone tell what kind of snake this is? Or if it is anything other than just a plain old black snake? In Colombia, a farmer stumbled upon a mysterious creature while he was tending to his bees in the field. This creature, which had a black color and 2 horns atop its head, had been hiding in a prickly bush before it was discovered. Once the farmer caught sight of the creature, he decided to grab his camera and film it. As he approached the unknown beast, it appeared to stare directly at him, giving off a very unsettling energy. The farmer said he couldn't shake the feeling that the creature would attack him at any moment, so he made sure to keep his distance. After a few minutes of observation, the horned beast disappeared behind the bushes and vanished without a trace. The farmer was relieved but also puzzled by what he had seen. When he checked the surrounding area, there was no evidence the creature had ever been there. With its striking appearance and elusiveness, the mysterious creature remains a topic of debate among the locals, who have dubbed it the Colombian cryptid. In this next clip, these 2 young boys saw this really weird creature roaming a field outside their house, dressed in all white and crouched down like it was some kind of wild animal. At first, they weren't sure if it was even real, but one of them thought he'd get a bit closer to check it out. And that's when the thing started screaming in this bizarre voice and suddenly stood up and charged straight at them. Needless to say, they were totally freaked out and ran as fast as they could back into their house. But wouldn't you know it, after hiding out for only a few minutes, they decided to peek outside to see if the creature was still there. And sure enough, it was still hanging outside their house like nothing had happened. And to make things even more spooky, their dog started barking at it too. The boys were later interviewed by a cryptid hunter, and they were pretty freaked out. No one seems to know what this could have been. Do you guys have any insight? One of your worst nightmares is to have a guest that won't leave. Well, similar to that, this is just a hilarious camera capture. Look at this. A man recently had an unexpected encounter while boating on Puget Sound off the coast of Washington. He spotted 2 enormous sea lions swimming nearby and decided to record them. When suddenly the massive marine animals decided to take a break and rest on top of someone's sailboat. Yeah. Look at the way the boat tilts. It's clearly not designed to handle these types of passengers. Each of these bad boys can weigh up to 2,500 pounds and reach 11 feet in length. Now, the sailboat that is anchored in the harbor looks a little older. It's probably not abandoned, but maybe. A few other instances that have been caught on camera like this, and the boats were definitely not abandoned. I'm guessing these lions are just taking a breather or looking for a place to sun themselves. Anyhow, great capture. I've never seen anything like this. A man was asked to watch a friend's property while they were on vacation. He became paranoid after hearing strange sounds, and he knew that some odd occurrences had happened to the neighbors that lived on that road. To ensure his safety, he set up trail cameras around the perimeter fence. And while reviewing the footage one night, it appears that one afternoon, he captured an image of a large, furry, bipedal creature with massive hands and legs walking past the camera. He was freaked out. This was captured in the middle of the afternoon. As he scrolled through more footage, it became apparent that the creature appeared every day around the same time, suggesting that it was keeping an eye on this man. When the man house-sitting screenshot and texted an image of this creature to his friend, the owner of the property, all he got back was a warning not to upset the creature. The friend said that the neighboring properties had all seen it, but nobody knew what this thing was. The man that was house-sitting seemed to have a change of heart. Now he thought he was just the butt of a joke, that they were all playing a prank on him. There's no way that this could be a real creature running around this little neighborhood. So he figured that this had to be just one of the neighbors running around in a suit. So the very next day, he yelled at it and decided he was going to expose the prankster. However, when he did yell at it, the creature ran away so fast that he immediately knew that whatever this was, it was not human. He never saw the creature again. But every single night, something on the property was destroyed. Gardens, flower beds, a rope swing, the windows of a beat-up pickup, and more. Does anyone have any idea what this creature could have been? A park ranger stumbled upon a wrestling match in the California woods. Two birds of prey were locked into each other with their talons. He described the battle being between a sparrowhawk and a juvenile kestrel. You can definitely see a distinct size advantage. If you remember a few videos back, the kestrel was the bird that hovered in the air, and its head remained completely motionless until it was time to attack. Well, it looks like he was on the wrong end of this fight. Anyhow, it appears he survived. The smaller bird that flew off was said to be the kestrel, and you can see the hawk standing on the ground is pretty good sized. Just a great capture here. Another video from California shows the moment a man found an unusual tree on the edge of his farm. At first glance, this looks more like a portal than a tree. But upon closer examination, it was discovered that the tree was still burning from the inside out. But upon closer examination, it was discovered that the tree was burning from the inside out. This tree had caught fire during the wildfire, and even though it had been contained for several days, the tree continued to burn. The man observed that the tree was smoking and had small holes on the inside where the flames were visible. However, the outer layer of the tree appeared to be relatively undamaged. Some people aren't so sure that the fire was caused by the wildfire. Another possible explanation for this is that lightning may have struck the tree and caused the inside to catch on fire. And perhaps the reason why only the inside burns and not the trunk is because the inner layer of the tree is moist, which makes it easier for the fire to catch and burn the tree from the inside out. I will say the image of this burning tree is both fascinating and eerie, and it serves as a stark reminder of the destructive power of wildfires and natural disasters in general. Just awesome footage. A few videos ago, we saw a similar situation where a man's home was invaded by birds. And if you think that couldn't have been any worse, in this video, these are bats, not birds, flying into this home's chimney. I really hope the homeowner is the one taking the video so they're not actually in the house. And statistically, this is pretty odd, but bats are known to occasionally fly down chimneys in search of a roosting site. Chimneys provide suitable shelter for bats because they often have a dark, cool, relatively dry environment that is similar to the natural roosting sites bats prefer, such as caves. Anyhow, do any of you have any experience with something like this? I hope not. In October of 2019, wildlife authorities in Kenya were puzzled by a giraffe wearing an unusual necklace. Yep, a tire stuck around its neck. Luckily, a mobile veterinary unit was sent to rescue the animal. But as you can imagine, it was pretty difficult to dart and sedate that massive creature. After a group effort, the rescues were able to relax the giraffe and gently remove the tire using ropes. After the tire was removed, the giraffe was given medical attention to treat the wounds caused by the tire. The awesome rescuer stayed with the giraffe until she woke up, making sure she was alert and stable before releasing her back into the wild. Rescuers are unsure of how or for how long the giraffe was in contact with the tire. It was most likely dumped by a person, and this is a reminder of the dangers that human-made objects can pose to wildlife, and to just basically not litter. In what the owner of this video says is a once-in-a-lifetime event, in August of 2017, a three-legged deer nicknamed Tripod was spotted in South Texas. The curious creature was observed standing perfectly on its three limbs. You can see the small knobby protrusion on its front shoulder that appeared to be a piece of bone or old joint. It is likely that the animal was born without one of its legs, versus possibly losing it to a wilderness accident. And as you can imagine, while this absence of a limb could have posed significant challenges for the animal in the wild, it has adapted remarkably well. The deer has not only learned to compensate for its disability by balancing its body on three legs, but it also runs pretty normally, and I would imagine that it has to escape predators. Anyhow, a truly miraculous example of nature's adaptability. Check out this awesome video featuring these three dogs that look like they are frozen in time. They're gazing off in the same direction without even a blink. Check them out. It's crazy. Some viewers have even wondered if these dogs are possessed or under some kind of hypnosis. But the truth is, they're just incredibly well trained. These pups have been taught to hold perfectly still until their master gives them a specific signal, which is a remarkable feat of group discipline, even for highly intelligent sheep herding dogs. They were able to remain motionless for a full 30 seconds before finally sprinting off on command. If I'm being completely honest, I'm not sure when you would ever use this or what for, but it is pretty interesting. And if you rewind, you see that one dog move his head in the background. Pretty funny. A Good Samaritan story here, as last January a man came across a deer in distress. The poor thing was swimming in circles in extremely cold weather and appeared to be disoriented. And upon closer inspection, the man realized that a paint bucket was covering her eyes and her nose and mouth, making it difficult for her to breathe. The deer's chances of survival were decreasing rapidly, as there was a high likelihood that the bucket could fill up with water and pull her down under with it. Not to mention, she could exhaust herself just swimming in circles, unable to see where to go. Fortunately, the man spotted her in time and called for help from a nearby boat. And after several attempts, they were finally able to rescue her. However, the deer was still confused and continued to circle in the water. So the rescuer took a brave step and grabbed her tightly, got her back towards the shoreline, where she eventually ran out of the water. Similar to the deer, in April of 2015, a greedy lion from a Dutch zoo found himself in a precarious situation. He couldn't help himself, so he dove his face into the feeding barrel that was chock full of raw meat and meant for his entire pride. In his eagerness, the lion's head becomes stuck, and he found himself trapped. The concerned members of his pride tried to help, but the lion's restlessness was nullifying their efforts. As the panicked lion continued to struggle, and zookeepers worried that he might hyperventilate and pass out, they made the difficult decision to sedate it. Thankfully, the lion was unharmed and eventually freed from the barrel. This should serve as a reminder to us all that greed can lead to dire consequences, even for the king of the jungle. This is just a really cool clip to catch on camera. At first, I thought this was just a bear cub crouched and peeking through the brush. But then when it shows itself and starts to scale this tree, it's pretty dang big. Look at how fast he goes up it. Experts say black bears are significantly faster climbers than grizzly bears, and unimpeded, they can go up a tree as fast as 25 miles per hour or 35 feet per second, which is just unreal to me. And their strong, agile bodies equipped with claws are designed to grip the tree bark. The soles of their rough textured pads provide the perfect traction for going up and down trees. It's just remarkable, and I think I can say that this is the fastest I've seen a bear go up a tree. Not to mention how quickly he went down the tree. What say you guys? Does this surprise you? Also, did anyone know that they could go up as fast as 25 miles per hour? This is just an incredible capture here. Just to be able to see this is amazing, but then to get it on film is even cooler. Look at this bobcat walking over the pilings. That leap is amazing. What do we think that is, 20 feet or so? Man, I know these cats are super agile, but that's still very, very impressive. Let's watch it one more time. Check out this crazy video here. It shows 3 hunters on a boat floating down a river when they suddenly spot a brown bear and her cubs on the bank. The mother bear charges at the hunters with only a few feet between them. But one of the hunters quickly pulls out his rifle and fires a warning shot in front of the bear. Luckily, the shot scares the bear away. Both the hunters and the bears escaped without injury. But this video is a reminder of the danger of hunting in the here of a father and son in a kayak pulling up some crawfish traps. They've baited these and placed them in various areas, and after a few hours they'll check them and hopefully they've caught some crawfish. Well, in this particular trap, they hooked a little more than they bargained for. That is a big gator. Actually, I'll put it like this. This father and son duo had some crawfish, but now the crawfish are the gators. This next alligator clip shows another fisherman on the bank that's hooked a nice bass. Well, it appears Mr. Gator doesn't like this guy pulling fish from his pond. This amazing black coyote footage comes from the YouTube channel Michael Outside. Look at this thing, he's beautiful. Black coyotes are relatively rare compared to their more common reddish gray or tan colored counterparts. The exact percentage of black coyotes in the population isn't well documented. The genetic mutation causing this different color is thought to have been introduced into the coyote population through interbreeding with domestic dogs or wolves. Anyhow, just a beautiful animal. And this next clip will show you what most likely brought him in front of this trail camera. This big old fat hog just wallowing in the mud. Yep, that's feeling good. If you go back and watch this video in its entirety, if you look at the trees in the background, you can actually see the hog goes and rubs up against them. In the daytime, it looks like all of the bark has been scraped off the lower parts of these trees. Anyhow, Michael has a great spot here for a trail camera. And if you're just interested in looking at wild animals on trail cameras, Michael has a great channel. Dashcam footage from a police cruiser in 2014 shows the moment an officer pulls over a small pickup. Almost immediately, things get weird. Before the officer gets to the truck, you can see him looking on the ground at something. Something in that puddle, but as you can see, it's too late. Whatever it is latches onto the officer's neck. The driver of the truck sees what is happening and he just bolts. Rather, he hobbles away, but he didn't stay to help is my point. The officer eventually rips the thing from his neck and throws it back where it came from. This is crazy. Okay, now, some of the commenters have mentioned that this might be some type of backwoods leech-like cryptid. I don't really know what to say. My first thought is that it's likely fake. I don't know of any animals that can do that, and the man fleeing the truck kinda makes it feel like it was staged. Anyhow, enough from me. What do you guys think about this clip? I've seen a lot of comments that a single coyote can't catch a deer, at least a full-grown one. Well, we have some evidence that might prove them wrong. A trail camera captured a coyote attacking a deer right in front of it. The coyote jumps and grabs the deer's neck, quickly going in for the kill. The deer was fighting hard for its life, but unfortunately it looked like the coyote was too much for it. In a bit of a plot twist, later on the same doe was spotted sitting with a buck, roaming around as if nothing had happened. It appears the coyote must have gotten chased off by the buck, and the deer was able to get back up and survive. Unfortunately, this wasn't captured on camera, and it might have happened after the camera restarted, as there is a time difference. Unless there's some funny business going on. During a recent camping trip, a family captured some eerie footage that has left them feeling pretty unsettled. While enjoying the outdoors, the father decided to capture the moment by snapping a quick photo on his phone. Little did he know that his phone's live photo feature was also recording the moments immediately before and after taking the photo, effectively creating a short video clip. Upon playing back the footage, the entire family was shocked to see a strange, shadowy figure moving on all fours directly behind their son. Upon closer inspection of the photo, it was clear that there was no one present in the frame who could have caused this anomaly. And the figure definitely did not look like a human. All in all, this unsettling footage is sure to send shivers down anyone's spine. What do you guys think it could be? A spine-chilling CCTV security footage camera has captured what a scared security guard believes to be a paranormal ghost encounter. While conducting a routine patrol, the guard had some eerie moments caught on camera that left him with more questions than answers. The video shows a car door opening by itself in a mysterious way. When the guard looked further into his workplace camera, he discovered more creepy moments that made him wonder if this is actually real ghost activity. He believes this evidence to be proof of a real paranormal experience. A strange floating white light can be seen gliding along the interior of the car shortly before the door opens. He suggests it's a possible ghostly entity in white light. When the owner was made aware of this, they were just as freaked out as the security guard. So what do we think here? Is this video evidence of paranormal activity, or was the car door simply not shut all the way? Maybe the wind blew it open. But if that's the case, what do we make of the weird and mysterious white light floating across moments before? I'd be interested in hearing what you think. This spine-tingling home video you're about to see may resemble paranormal poltergeist activity caught on camera, but in fact, it's far scarier than any ghost. The footage captures household items, chairs, tables, and furniture being thrown to the ground, while lights turn on by themselves. The house seems like it's almost possessed by a rampaging ghost. However, this is, in fact, terrifying home video footage of the Acapulco earthquake. As you see at the beginning of the video, the house begins to shake, and the doorway slides back and forth as the entire house moves on its foundation. Probably the craziest aspect of this video is that the earthquake measured 7.4 on the Richter scale. And while 7.4 may seem like a lot when you take it out of 10, what's truly terrifying about the Richter scale is that it has no upper limit. And the most significant earthquake ever recorded was only an 8.6. Have any of you been caught in an earthquake? I remember a few years ago when we had one around where I lived. I was actually in an underground warehouse and stuff started falling off the shelves. It was unbelievable. Anyhow, let me know your thoughts. This camera captured some pretty cool footage here, as a hawk swoops in and tries to grab a rabbit. The rabbit was able to survive the first attempt, but man, these hawks can turn on a dime. The hawk eventually commandeers the rabbit, and he begins to enjoy his meal, but he sees something coming off in the distance. And out of nowhere, this lone coyote shows up. Obviously, he's looking for a quick meal. He actually looks like he's injured and limping. This seems like a strange setting for all of this to happen. I noticed the sidewalk, and it's surprising that a coyote is just wandering around. Any ideas where this could be? A short clip here, but on the right of your screen, you can see a mother moose and her babies. She charges this man who's just on a road bike. And I'll just say it, he gives the most lackadaisical, half-hearted effort. He just falls over. I mean, look. The rider appears to have made it away safely, so maybe he knows something I don't. But speaking for myself, I really don't think my tactic would be to just fall down if I saw this moose charging. Look, like I said, he seems like he made it out okay, so who am I to judge? In February of last year, a video was shared that caused some concern among the local bird enthusiasts. The footage showed a man approaching a small kingfisher that had become stuck to a tree trunk with its beak. This behavior is unusual for kingfishers, but since the trunk was from a soft banana tree, the bird may have mistakenly gotten stuck while searching for sweet nectar. Luckily, the man noticed the bird's predicament and intervened, saving the vulnerable creature's life by removing its beak and freeing it from the tree. It was really heartening to see the bird recognize its need for help and allow the man to assist. Mankind and nature working together. Drone footage here shows a dingo tracking a group of boars. One single dingo doesn't stand a chance against a full-grown wild boar. The reward isn't worth the very real likelihood of getting injured. However, a piglet is more in this dingo's weight class. As he chases one twosome, he spots a duo running up ahead and moves on. He makes one attempt, but the pig is able to get away. However, he doesn't miss on his next try and is able to take the smaller pig down. This footage taken in an undisclosed location shows the exact reaction I think most hair salons would exhibit in this case. This cat has caught a snake, which is still alive. And while the camera angle isn't the best, you can absolutely tell that the cat is like, "What's wrong, guys? What's all this fuss about?" Snake just hanging out of his mouth. He's like, "This is just my little buddy I'm gonna play with." All the while, all the ladies in the salon are freaking out. Great camera capture. This is just insane. It's a quick video, so I'll let you watch. It doesn't need much explanation, but that massive gator tries to snatch that sleeping cat off the side of the boat. Wow. Cats really are so impressive. Their agility alone makes them extraordinary. I mean, look, that gator is huge. Man, I'm glad that cat's okay. She was on her P's and Q's. And let's be honest, thank goodness this wasn't a dog, because while they are quick, not many dogs would have been able to avoid getting pulled overboard by that gator. Anyhow, great bit of footage. This is a really cool video here. Rams are known for being very stubborn, and well, so are boars. Here's a preview of the two of them squaring off. Man. As we can see here, a boar has broken into a sheep's pen. It's unclear why, but the farmer suspected he wanted to eat one of the smaller sheep. Wild boars are omnivorous, so they do eat meat. Generally not as large as a sheep, but you never know. Funny enough, the farmer said there was a sheepdog in the enclosure, but he didn't want any part of this big pig. As we watch, the boar chases the sheep back and forth until the ram steps in to stick up for the flock. The boar turns his sights on the ram, and this is how it goes. The ram smashes into the boar. I mean, boars are tough, but I don't know how many of those he can take. Look at that. Anyhow, after a few good shots to the dome, the boar was ready to get the heck out of there. This would be quite the scene if you happened to glance out your front door and saw this. Captured on a home security cam, you can see a family of mountain lions, consisting of a mother and her 3 cubs, just taking a leisurely stroll around the family's house. I mean, they are absolutely beautiful. But can you imagine the shock when they caught these creatures just strolling right up the driveway as if they owned the place? Despite their intimidating presence, the mountain lions didn't disturb anything at all or cause any harm. They simply wandered around as if on a sightseeing tour, exploring their new surroundings. Someone joked that perhaps the mother lion was teaching her cubs about human culture. I was more inclined to think she was saying, "Okay, kids, if things get really, really bad and you can't catch any food at all in the woods, this is where you come. They'll either feed you or, well, you know what to do." I digress. Watching these magnificent cats casually hanging out as if it was no big deal makes for an awesome camera capture and an even better story. Admittedly, this video blew my mind at first. I was hanging on the edge of my seat as he pulls this massive lawn worm out of the ground of this residential neighborhood. I mean, it looks like a freaking alien. This guy has the tail of it, and as you can see, it's gigantic. He walks all the way out to the street with it, and it's still coming. Now, I was late to the party, but most of you probably know this isn't a worm.
Hey guys, I'm out on site in Glenmore Park. This client's been complaining about the lawn losing all its colour. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that, Rodney. Rodney's just pulling this out. This is a giant lawnworm. They eat away at the roots of the plant. Look at that, Rodney. That's insane. That's one of the biggest. Oh my god. Anyway, we've pulled this out now. The lawn should recover pretty well. Good luck.
I tell you, the Australian accent had me sold. It really helped sell this video. So this lawn worm is actually a compressed log of dirt and roots that have built up over time and are clogging someone's drains. Anyhow, let me know what you guys thought. I definitely got tricked. I thought I was in the movie Tremors for a second. Now, onto a real-life lawn worm, also known as the anaconda. A video of a large female anaconda attempting to cross a road in broad daylight went viral on the internet. The incident on your screen took place in Brazil in 2019. People even got out of their cars to prevent approaching vehicles from hitting this massive creature. Can you imagine hitting this thing with your car? This really was an extraordinary sight, as the anaconda was 4 meters long and estimated to weigh over 100 pounds, making it even more of a rare occurrence to witness such a large and impressive snake. This clip here starts off with a bang. A beautiful bobcat shows herself in the rain, followed up by a possum, pretty common. Then we see a couple of raccoons. A deer comes to check the spot out. Okay. A little bunny hops into frame. And then we see this. I mean, what the heck is that? Gosh, it looks awful. If we break it down, it's definitely missing a portion of its right hind leg. And maybe even a portion of the left. It's hard to tell. Maybe you guys can see it. It looks hairless. What is this? Let's play it a few more times. So it has to be either a coyote or a dog. It honestly looks kind of like a malnourished hyena. But I'm thinking coyote with mange. I wonder what happened with its foot. Maybe it got caught in a trap or hit by a car or something. I mean, we didn't get to see him at full speed, but I have a hard time thinking that he's really able to catch a lot of food. He must be the ultimate scavenger. We can tell he's a survivor. If I saw that pop up on my trail camera unexpectedly, I'd be freaked out. Anyhow, what do you all think happened here? Do we think this is a mangy coyote? Let me know your thoughts. An older video here, and probably the most popular, most viewed kangaroo video ever. I'm sure you've all seen it, but it's pretty remarkable. In the video, a hunter's dog is captured by a kangaroo, causing the owner to panic, understandably. He rushes over to the kangaroo in an attempt to rescue his poor dog. However, the crazy part is the kangaroo refuses to let go and continues to hold the dog in a headlock. Eventually, as the hunter gets closer, the kangaroo lets his stranglehold loosen and the dog slips away. At that moment, you would think that this little mishap would be over, that the man would walk away because he got what he wanted, his dog. Instead, the man puts his dukes up, and honestly, it kind of looks like the kangaroo is challenging him to a confrontation. You see how he puffs his chest out? Despite the potential danger, the hunter stands his ground and punches the kangaroo in the face, leaving the animal bewildered. I mean, the whole incident seems like a scene straight out of a movie. To this day, I cannot believe that this is real. Here we have another absolutely absurd video with a kangaroo. It shows a kangaroo and a dog fighting in the water. What in the world is going on down under? The kangaroo and the dog were captured on camera engaged in a fierce fight, neither caring about the added danger of this taking place in the water, which adds a whole nother level to it. Bystanders said the determination of these two creatures to overpower each other was remarkable. The dog starts to swim away, but then he comes back for more action. Honestly, I actually thought the kangaroo might drown the dog. I was worried when he puts his paws on the dog's back and pushes him under. Anyhow, I guess the dog's owner was worried too, as he eventually hopped in his skiff and came to the dog's rescue. The original uploader said the kangaroo eventually made its way back to dry land and went about its day. Just a pretty unreal thing to catch on camera. Pretty cool and very relatable footage here showing a mama bear's grueling task of safely transporting her 4 cubs across the road. You see, mom's trying to get them together. However, her offspring have different plans as they continuously run back and forth, near about turning it into a game of tag. The vehicles have all stopped, and if you look, I think that's a police SUV making sure the bear and the cubs can cross safely. That's nice of them. Despite her uphill battle, the resilient mama bear persistently carried and guided her cubs towards safety until they all reached the other side. I feel like this practically sums up parenthood. This heartwarming scene highlights the shared struggles between animal mothers and human mothers. Moms, just trying to keep everyone straight. This is a creepy video here as we see a couple on a trail hiking. Halfway down the trail, they notice a very well camouflaged snake on the side of the trail. I mean, you can barely see this guy. I'll point him out. Her husband made it by, but she was frozen in fear as she tried to muster up the courage to get past the snake. I mean, which to her probably felt like a black mamba or a very venomous cobra. Eventually, she digs deep and is able to cross the snake's threshold, but as soon as she does, the snake does a little half-hearted lunge towards her. That's a little surprising. You don't usually see snakes that aggressive. He must have perceived her sudden movements as a threat. Anyhow, you can hear how frightened she is.
Oh, he did come at you!
Also, can anyone identify what kind of snake this is? At the beginning of the video, when it was blending in so well, it looked to be tannish brown, matching the ground, but when it moved, it looked kind of black. Interested if anyone can make it out.